Oh, right, all right, all right. It's time for another DreamHack Masters summer match. This is the semi-finals here between two very powerful Zerg and Terran players. Down here in the bottom right, in the blue, it's the Zerg. His name is Serral. Up here in the top left, in the red, the Terran player, the online king who's recently getting some bigger performances in GSL. Making it to the Season 1 Grand Finals of this year, 2020. It is Kua. And this should be a good game. Submarino, one of my favorite maps. I really like it. For those who don't know, Serral is actually on my team for... he's on the War Pigs team for the War Chest Team League, which is like a show match series where a bunch of casters got to draft players and do some cool shit. Let's just lock onto Mapu's camera. Why am I not doing that the whole time? I could just be on Mapu's camera. Oh my god. Let's update that stream title really quickly to reflect the current series. Give me one sec, guys. And yeah, apparently ladder's not working right now, guys. I think they're trying to fix the bug where command centers can load other command centers into them. Yeah, it was a pretty daring pick, I know. Picking the GOAT was like, getting first in the draft order and picking the GOAT. I was like, I was like, should I be creative with this? And I was like, hells no. Hells no. Of course not. I'm gonna be creative. Give up Serral. Have the second person pick him and be like, why didn't I pick Serral? That'd just be stupid. This is a replay cast, guys. The ladder is broken right now, so we decided to hop on and cast a few games from the season finals a week and a half back. And people are saying in chat, sounds like the perfect bug for the Icy Far. Yeah, can we get an Icy Far activation in chat? For those of you who are hanging out, the challenge at the moment is it's inside of you. You know, and I want you to really imagine your Russell Brand humping a giant chess piece, you know? Slide your base into their base. So floating buildings, proxy hatch, nexus in the main. I would love to see a Florencia or one of these games with someone hiding their command centers inside their own command centers, because there is some weird shit happening. Yeah, you can load a command center into a planetary fortress. Like, and then it becomes invisible. Apparently Florencio found that you could load a bunker with Marines, put it inside a command center, and then the command center would shoot. So the bunker would be inside an unselectable, invisible floating command center, and it's got Marines in a bunker inside the command center shooting out of it, apparently. Unfortunately, because you can't select it to land it and the opponent can't attack it, it does mean the game is a forced draw unless the Terran concedes. And because of that, I'm pretty sure that's part of the reason Blizzard was like, let's just take the ladder down until we get this bug fixed. So, Dot's in chat, she says, don't diss the hair, it's mine. Hi-oh! You know it. You know it. Dot's got my back. Dot's got my back. Oh! Oh! That's a horny Reaper if I've ever seen one. Really wanted to kill that tumor. Has a thing against dirty tumors and lesions and the spread of Zerg creep. It's going to be a Banshee opening.
But you thermal knew the secret to success was in having a ton of Marines and Marauders. I'm getting so excited I can't even speak anymore.
That is definitely the secret pig.
Not only is this stream much cheaper than a therapist, it's also more fun.
Thank you, Barb. It's more fun. No, it's your job to read things out correctly. I will keep correcting you. It's not rude. I'm just... Epic bacon, apparently. iPig bacon is epic bacon? Come on! She tells me to get fucked. She says I'm embarrassing her in public and I should really address these issues off stream. Not the best secretary, but nonetheless, let's talk about the game at hand. Thank you very much to the anonymous gifter there. No worries, happy to be your therapist. If you're a Terran player traumatized by roaches, though, I may have news for you. This is great for Kua, isn't it? Oh, he's got to pull back up the ramp, mate. What are we doing down here? No. Get every SCV off the low ground right now. Okay. Oh, this should be a good hold, though. This should be a good hold. As long as he doesn't take a big bile to the face. And he doesn't. Ooh, I do think he should have raised the depot there. Oh, he's going to lose a few more SCVs. Good focus on the Marauder there from Serral, but... Well, that was about as textbook a hold as you can possibly have. The quick Banshee is so good against these sort of attacks. It's a good way to play safe on this map. Really well done there by Cure. Third CC is still quite delayed by it, but none of his depots went down. That's usually the annoying thing after you hold the pressure like this. You're like, lost some depots, bloody annoying. But, not badly done. And the Banshees are so eager to get across the map. Nothing's there to spot the Overlord, so Serral hides that. Second and third barracks, it is going to be Bio. Now, Serral, of course, droned hard behind this. This was not a build where you're rallying speedlings. He delayed link speed. He only started that as his attack went in. He's droned like a mother trucker. He's got spores in each base. He's only got 3 queens, though. So it's kind of dangerous because, yeah, the Banshees are going to find the angle where they can bounce between the main and the third. They come in, 1 drone, only 1. Oh, the Hellions are just YOLOing. It's a dive, it's a dive. The Zerglings aren't in position. Oh, but Cure does not quite get the stack. Serral evacuates the drones. Good spready on those Zerglings, making sure they didn't all clump up in the choke point. And those Hellions and Reapers only really denying a bit of mining time. Banshees go into the main, and even though Serral has almost no queens, he's still defending very well. He's up to 60 workers. So Serral here is kind of basically looked at this and he said, look, there's one thing we're going to cut. It's actually having a decent queen count. And I'm just going to use my spores, use my queens as perfectly as I can. And hopefully it's okay. And you know what? These Banshees were cloaked for so long. They only got 7 kills. Oh, no, you can't lose that. No, Cure. Oh, good reaction. These Banshees are very valuable. But the problem is they've got to go back and repair. And Serral's been so on point with his tumors. Now, this is a testament. Remember, he only had 3 queens. He got 1 tumor, 2 tumors, 3 tumors. But with consistent creep spread, only 3 creep tumors. He's just added 2 more now. Got a massive creep spread out. And this is the power of just spreading those creep tumors consistently. If you just get 1 creep tumor in each lane, but you spread it as much as you can really get out there. And Serral now, he's starting his double upgrades. Down here at his third, I think he wants to lose his upgrades to a push. What the fudge is that? I think it's just because he had excess drones on the minerals there, so he chose to build it there. A terrible idea, in my opinion. Not a fan of the Evos at the third. All the European Zergs do it, and they do lose their upgrades far more than they should. But we can criticize that later. Who knows? Maybe it's just masterful bait. Ling's coming forward. And ooh. Good pickup. Pick off the tumor. Yeah, nicely done. So he does take the tip off this creep here. Just, but look at that. Serral taking the momentum away from Cure. And this is a really good move to do. If you've got an abundance of units, you just chase these medevacs. A lot of people forget to do that. And the medevacs just unload half a screen away, stim in, kill some tumors, pick up, and they keep rinsing and repeating. Instead, he forces Cure to go home and unload there. He's up on 71 drones. These Banshees are looking for more damage. He's done a great job of keeping them alive. I think a lot of players would be really pissed off by this. But Serral, he's shepherding them around. He's only on 5 queens. He's finally going up to 7 queens now. He skipped this gas geyser. It is, of course, a 5 gas build. And he's not even going Hydroden. Ooh, okay. Banshees are gone now. Only a couple more workers. So the thing is, you can go 5 gas Hydraling Bane. You just get a handful of Hydras to have a bit of support, a little bit of anti-air. Ooh, queens in the open. Serral's kind of lucky that Cure didn't just jump on those. I don't think he was ready to actually protect them. But he's going to go quick ultras. Infestation Pit already finished, and that hive's going to start up. Yeah. Macro Hatch. 5th. 4th? 5th? That's a 5th base. 5th base in the top and a macro hatch. So he's going up to 6 Hatchling Bane. How many queens? We got 7 queens. So he's got very little anti-air. He's going to start Baneling dropping. He's already got 4 Banelings about to drop that left-hand side. One big hit there will give him a big economy advantage. Ling's finding the tanks. Baneling's finding the Marines. Ooh, if he gets rid of every tank, this is worth it. Oh my god, good hot pickup from Cure. Does save the Marines. The Baneling drop did not queue in the midst of that. And now it's going in of itself. Oh. He purposefully unloads so that the turret attack sound does not warn Cure. And 9 SCVs go down. Nicely done. I'd love to see a few more of those queued up throughout this game. 77 workers for Serral. His creep spread's good. He's replaced the tip here in this central area. This area here is a little bit lacking. Double drop down the south. A few Marines accidentally following those medevacs. They wanted to load in, but they're just going to chill out down here. Now, what do we got? Only 2 siege tanks. He lost 3 tanks in that previous push. He's going to try to go drilling claws, which are very powerful against Ling Bane. But with a hive already up, I feel like the 2-2 bio mine push, even the second factory, it's not even got the reactor on it. He's going to be starting double mine production at the same time that ultras hit the field, and that's not good for Cure. That being said, Vipers queue up, no Ultra Cavern just yet. Serral may be happy to just go Adrenal 3-3 upgrades and play a very mobile, just swarmy Ling Bane style for the moment. The Vipers, of course, are going to be able to Blinding Cloud the tanks. Other than that, they don't have a lot of utility against Biomine. You can Blinding Cloud in the middle of the bio just to mess them up for a couple seconds. It's not the most effective, but you can at least pepper the Metavacs with Parasitic Bomb and very slowly gain value over time, just wearing those hit points off the Metavacs. I love the way Serral, you can see here, he's split on both sides. We're going to go to Serral's camera so you guys can see his control groups. So you're going to notice this up here is his main army group that he's reinforcing. You see those rally points? That's his eggs. All the Zerglings he's building are rallying up here. His Vipers are on number 2. Number 4 is his secondary army. This is for dealing with that drop that's over here, but it's also for making sure that he can suddenly use that as a counterattack. Run across, roll some Lings and Banes in, and he's got all of his 5 queens on number 5, and he's also got a separate defense key on 0, which I'm sure he's remapped to a different key. And these are his queens he's using to respread creep. He's also using them to help hunt down Metavacs, since he's got so little anti-air. If the Metavacs start jumping past the Ling Bane, notice he's added a few spores around to try and add a little bit to that defense so the Metavacs don't just have free reign, but he's also going to use those creep queens as a little bit of in-between to try and do that. Now, taking a look at the control groups of Qa, you can see main army 1, and the Widow Mines are on the main army, but they're also on the second, number 2. He does not use exclusive control groups. Oh my god, the tank gets abducted. Parasitic Bomb, those Marines, a little bit slow to lift, do go down. Oh no, Cura, just a second too late. Does save some of the Marines. And these Widow Mines, look at that, individual Zergling, takes one for the team, jumps on the grenade, and does take those Widow Mines out. Serral with utter map dominance at this point. He's up 11 workers, and he's adding 3-3, and he is actually ahead of the 3-3 of Terran. Oh, that's very bad. Cua, I think after that first triple tank push got held, has really just been struggling. He's got a 4th up. It's a small map. Serral's going up to 85 workers now. That 5th base up here has been healthy this entire time. How many gases is he on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 gases for Serral at this moment. So he's going to start to bank up gas in the next few minutes. Have plenty to build these Ultras and the upgrades with them. He does, of course, have Overlord speed, so these speedy Overseers able to reveal what's going on. He's looking to attack here, but yeah, doesn't want to overcommit. Just drops Parasitic Bombs, being annoying with that. And it's not a lot of damage, really. It just forces Cure to spread out. It slowly, over time, kills the Metavacs. And I'm not sure if these engages are the most worth it. I guess he's still dropping Parasitic Bomb. Ooh, no Siege Tank, no bunker on that. It just crashes through. Uh-oh, no escape, no escape. Ooh, Cure with a good spread. Most of the Banelings go towards the bio. Ah, it does still get 11 workers on the top of that base, plus the wall. And when you're at 86 workers, you're on 5, 6 bases, trading against a Terran where, I mean, look at this map. How is Terran ever going to get a 4th? Look at this. He's so active spreading the creep forward. Serral is just crowding him out of this game. Anabolic synthesis, that is literally anabolic steroids for the legs of those Ultras. Ultras skip leg day when they're off creep normally, but with that upgrade, they'll get the speed boost. They don't quite have it just yet. Parasitic Bombs, Ultras, Lings, Banes crashing through. There are no Liberators. Ooh, a big mine hit could be big, but the Banelings pull back. Oh my god, Serral, he's babysitting his Banelings and making sure they survive. No big mine hits on those, and a dominating game 1 there. Serral takes map 1. I think a really good hold at the start, and that's one of those games where I lose that game on ladder against like a 5k MMR player, and I'm like, shouldn't I be ahead after I defended your stupid Roach push and I only lost 3 SCVs? But you know what? The Banshees didn't do as much as they should have, and things are in a little bit of trouble there, so hot diddly damn. Well, that was just a blatant troll. We had fun with Arrowman later. You'll notice that, like many trolls, Arrowman said nothing, right? You know? I called Arrowman out, and Arrowman was like, it's like you're on the internet. You're not even literally in person, and you're still afraid. You're still afraid. You wait until I'm in the cast, and then you start talking shit again. Holy fucking coward. Oh my god. And so It's so funny because my chat is so good because we're pretty relaxed. Like someone really has to consistently be a dick, right? To actually get banned. But there's always someone who's like, Trump. Like nobody bites and they just keep going. They're just that crazy person. You guys ever get in a lift with someone and then it starts going up and then they start just talking to themselves and you're like, oh no, because there's no way out of that situation. So it's very uncomfortable, you know. But there's those people in Twitch chat as well. They're like, oh no, Trump 2020, and you're like, okay, cool, fine. Man, that in of itself, it's out of context. It's random words. I don't know. They're like, Avillo, why isn't Avillo here? Why isn't Avillo in this tournament? And you're like, oh, okay. And you're like, what are your thoughts on the Illuminati? And they're like, and they suddenly just start being really nice to everyone because they're like, oh, you're on our level. Cool. No, anyway, so I'm like, he waits till I'm in game and then starts shit talking. Naughty. It's the people who start just going around chats talking about Avillo all day who are also an interesting example. I don't know. There's some studies that need to be done on Twitch chat, guys. We'll figure it out one day. You know, do you guys remember Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? Do you guys remember that movie? Because the end of that movie, I mean, that is everybody's fantasy, right? The end of that movie where the whole movie, right, is about them getting $1 million or whatever so that they can find the people that hated their thing and made shitty comments, shit talking them online. And then like the last 5 minutes of the movie while the credits are going is them just like knocking on people's doors and they answer. It's always like some little kid answers it and they're like, are you shit eater 99? And then they're like, the kid's like, yeah. And they just like grab him and start beating the shit out of these little kids. I'm like, isn't that just everyone's dream, right? Like to find and not necessarily to beat them up, but to find the faces and the humans behind these people. Like, you know, I honestly think if I had the power of invisibility, I would be super voyeuristic, but not in the terms of, oh, I'm going to go have a perv on someone while they get changed. I'd just go like hide in people's houses and observe them until I find those people, right? I'd just be like hiding in a corner of their room watching. I'm like, is this one of them? And then I'd fucking find the person who's sitting there on fucking 4chan and they're hanging out with their 3 friends. They're like, oh, I trolled this guy so good. Ha ha ha. You know, and then I'd study them and I wouldn't even do anything. I wouldn't beat them up. I'd just record it and then I'd move on and I'd find another one until I understand what has gone wrong in these people's lives. But I'm like, trolling like can be funny, right? It really can. You know, it's like pranking your mates, shit talking your mates, fucking around with people, even with strangers. It can be funny. But it's just there's people who are just, it's like a crazy person talking to themselves. There's no wit. They're just spamming things to try and like, it's like going fishing by throwing dynamite in the pond. And I'm like, what is that? Like, yeah, they're like, well, we get fish. And I'm like, is it? You think you're going to get fish? Like, yeah, cool. But is it satisfying? They're like, well, we killed a lot of fish. It's fucking awesome. And I'm like, is it? It's like if you go for the lowest common denominator bait in chat and someone bites, does that give you a sense of accomplishment? Do you feel like you did a funny? I don't know. That's me rant about low-level trolling. It's a disease these days. We need more high-level, refined trolls out there. We need people who are clever, where the person who's being trolled might even have a bit of a, you got me kind of moment. Instead, there's too many people these days where they're just like, they figured out like buzzwords that some people will bite on and they just spam them. And I'm like, oh, that's not clever. No. You know, bring back the 300 IQ trolling, guys. Speaking of which, bring back the cattle bruisers. We saw Innovation's a big fan of those. It looks like Cure is going to be going for it this time around. I'm actually really sad they reduced lib range by 1. Because I really enjoyed going every now and then and doing a lib range build. I guess the maps are really bad for lib range for the most part these days anyway. So even with 1 more range, they wouldn't be as good. But I used to love it. People are like, uh-oh, a battle cruiser's coming. And then you're like, ha-ha, range libs. Good times. Last time I did that was Port Alexander. That was a good map for it, man. That was a really good map for it. And here we go. Ling's coming out. Roaches as well. Droning looking pretty good for Serral. Did he go OV speed this game? He didn't. So, I mean, what did he see? He saw a starport with the tech lab. He can assume, okay, it could be BCs, and he's going to do a little Ling run by as well. He hasn't seen that third command center, so he doesn't really know how much is being committed. So the quick Roach Warren just for safety, a very good idea. Ooh, I think those aliens could have got a volley or two. There's very few Lings at home, actually. That was the rare moment where Serral did not actually have enough Lings in position and a Queen's in position. But, I'd love one foraging Zergling to go over and take a look-see. That's a quick third CC already finished. Scan, just going to chop the tip off here. My brain's really messed up. It keeps thinking there's... The bouncing around in my head, it keeps thinking with whenever the creep gets chopped off that there's got to be a circumcision joke, and then I immediately veto it. Thankfully, the common sense part of my brain still exists, because I'm like, there is no way that's a funny joke. But it keeps popping back up, and I keep having to like slap it down. I'm like, no! No, pig! That's stupid! Anyway, Battlecruiser is going to come in there. Does get one drone. Queens are quick. Got to pull these drones away, though. He's going to... Oh, nice. Nice. Gets one. Can he get another? Yeah, Q is diving a little bit here. These Hellions, though, find the Roaches. It's a Roach push. Ooh, what's he got at home right now? Not much. Not much. That BC. 5 drones. Ooh, good pullback again. Serral with some really good pullbacks. This could be 6 or 7 drones by now if he wasn't so on point. And now he split the Queens. Nicely done by Serral. BC is not being microed because he's busy at home. Oh, no. Cure. Oh, you cannot lose this. You cannot lose. I think the BC will stay alive. You can see it's behind me. It got down to about 50 life. Okay, it was just a few Roaches. I like that he man-moded that. That's actually really good man-moding by Cure. He just actually says, you know what? That's only a few Roaches. This is not a real push. Behind it, though, Serral up on 68 workers. He's only got 19 Zerglings for safety. Oh, no, 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 no! Did he F2? I think he F2 A moved. Oh no, Cure. Alright, now that I know that Cure F2s a bit, he has that bad F2 habit, I'm keeping my eyes on him. F2 is a valuable tool, but I think we all know Hero, who's now in the military. Oh shit, he just got wrecked. Oh, he should have kept running there, or maybe tried to juke and change directions. That's rough, man. Because now Serral has all the freedom in the world. He's got that rich geyser. He's got corruptors. I mean, we saw a Roach bust earlier. He's building Cyclones and Blue Flame. Oh no, don't go double armory. He's just going to die. If Serral just Roach Corruptor busts him, there's no way he holds on. It's only 6 Corruptors. He's got a lot of Zerglings out, does Serral, but he's not really droning right now, which I'm kind of curious about. Species finding some value. Losing a Battlecruiser, losing those Hellions, it's just so much freedom to Serral now, and it's hard for Q to even realize if an all-in is coming. There's 7 Queens out. It doesn't look like he'll do anything like a Queen push. That is an option. Some people push with Queens against Battlecruiser openings. Run 9 Queens across the map. But, yeah, we're going to see if Q is as bad as Hero with F2. Small Hero, as I sometimes call him. The Smiling Assassin was his nickname. Yeah, once they brought out the F2 key, he became an absolute addict. Like, the number of times you would see him just mess up and fly his prism through an army, or, you know, he was F2ing like a crazy person every single game. And it would sometimes allow him to do things very quickly and great. And just as many times it felt like he was handicapping himself because he was not using it with intelligence. He was spamming the shit out of that key when he should have been a little bit more clever. Nonetheless, though, guys, 20 Zerglings here. Very good for tanking siege tank shots. This is actually a Cyclone army, though. So, Cure, he's got to teleport that home. He wants to catch the Corruptors with some Cyclone lock-ons. He doesn't have mag field yet. I mean, they're mostly Ravagers, but these Roaches are going to tank for a while. Oh, Serral, you absolute mad lad. Just shoves his way through the choke point. What an absolute psycho. The Zerglings hit that mineral line. Cure has got to clear this out. The SCVs are trying to drill back to safety. Oh, man. These Cyclones and Hellions needed to intercept this out of the map. No safety tanks at all. Even just 1 or 2 tanks on the high ground here, I think, would have had some devastating shots. But look at that. Cure, I mean, he's going to lose too many SCVs. And Serral a little bit too ahead. We're seeing a lot of people messing this up. What is F2? F2 is the select all army key by default, guys. It is the select all army key. And it's a great tool and a terrible habit. I find tearing the hardest race without F2 because you can't hotkey eggs and warping in units the way you can with the other races. Yeah, you've got to have a good rally point habit. I always set a camera location over my rally point after I've done most of my early game production add-on swap arounds. And because of that, I basically just have a habit where I jump to the rally point and I box the units and organize them. I definitely fall into the F2 habit sometimes as well. I'm not perfect. I make a lot of mistakes with it. If you end up with a Liberator kind of hidden in the back, like that battlecruiser was, you actually siege it up just right there in case you accidentally F2 and pull it back to your army. That way, even if you F2 it, you can't accidentally run it back through, which is kind of cool. Oh, you're going to start playing again, RJ and FC. But yeah, F2 is a terrible habit. Oh, Proxy barracks. He'll spot it, but not super early. Are we... You know, I actually feel like the Proxy barracks player is favored with lag. And I think that might be part of why both Inno did this so many times against Raynor, and now Kua is going to do a double Proxy racks versus Serral. Now, this is a 2 Proxy racks. He will not build a 3rd barracks. He will start a gas geyser and then drop a factory and a command center behind this. So he's looking for damage. He wants to kill a bunch of drones. This is almost never a kill move. Occasionally it does. Does actually kill the opponent. Serral. Yeah, 16 hatch, 18 gas. That was a 17 pool, actually. Which is totally standard, Pig. Never mind. It's 18 gas, 17 pool is standard. Oh, man. He finally sees it, but the barracks is just finished. I like the way he's placed the barracks. If this gets overrun, he can rally Marines to the inside, and they'll be completely protected, and they can defend the barracks. So you're never going to dislodge these barracks unless Kua lifts them off. 3 drones pulled just to stop any early bunker construction. And let's quickly look at Serral's control groups. He's already control grouped 11 more drones in the main. And he's got 2 different control groups for his workers. I always talk about this. Defending cannon rushes, defending bunker rushes, guys. You want to use those army control groups on your drones and sometimes even using them in separate squads. He's now doubled up. He's using them all as one group right now. 6 Zerglings and a Queen start. He's going to click the bunker. He says, okay, let's just take this one to the face. There's a nice corner those Marines can always retreat to. Creep is spreading. That's the furthest forward bunker he can get. Kua wants to keep that one alive, but Serral's bought himself time. He doesn't need to commit until the bunker is about halfway, 2/3 complete. He's going to try to pull. He's getting ready. He's stacking those drones. The Lings are here, and he's going to drill through these. Now, what does he split? One Zergling is going to deal with both of those SCVs, and he's going for the surround. And he's going to get it. A lovely drill there from Serral. We're going to go back into a frame-by-frame analysis of this one. That was really good. And he does... Ooh! Oh, he gets that Marine, but he loses quite a few units. But you know what? Those bunkers, both of those have to get cancelled. And Kua has to fall back. Factories here. I don't know, actually, is that... This is not a game over or anything. There's no gas. There's 18 workers. Command center starting behind it. There's a few Marines that'll get home. They may get an Overlord, though it looks like he'll get to safety. I think this is okay. I think this is okay for Kua. It's not great, but it's acceptable. Forced a lot of lost mining time. Killed a few units. I think Serral might be a little ahead. The problem with Serral being a little ahead is he's very quickly, going to turn that into being a lot ahead, right? One of the things about Serral is if you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. We often see him just comfortable playing from behind. When he's ahead, it's like he doesn't relax. You know, a lot of players relax when they're ahead and they kind of start worrying a bit too much. They let their opponent back in the game. When Serral's ahead, he's like, no, I always play to the same standard. No, just gonna play perfectly and push my greed a little bit further. Since I know I'm ahead, I can get away with delaying this a little bit, squeeze a few more drones out. He really wants to get that 3rd hatch. This is always the awkward thing in this scenario is you don't want to interrupt droning because you got so much lava out of those injects. But you also don't want to delay the 3rd base too long. So you're often torn between 2, and you can see now there's a bit of excess lava sitting there. He's just starting to turn those into drones at this moment. Serral scouting along the very edge with this Overlord. He's got that Overlord in the back. A few Zergling spotters patrolling. He's making sure there is no way a surprise maneuver can spot him. And he did see that command center, so he knows he's safe. He has not started Ling speed. Serral. He's building 10 Zerglings right now. That's a mistake. There is no way you ought to be making slow Zerglings before Ling Speed. Serral! Serral! He's making a bait nest as well. Serral, make Ling Speed. What are you doing? Oh my god, I've done this before. And the Hellions come in, then you realize at that moment. Hellion drop's pretty good if they don't have Ling Speed, man. Will this Overlord? Oh, what are they? Sorry guys, I just rewound 10 seconds. My bad. This is of course a replay cast. And it's on the previous patch, so it's by default using the standard hotkey layout for observing. And Serral doesn't see that, so that's going to go in there, and he's still not got... Serral! Oh, shit. Oh, man. What is an alternate keybind for patrol? Someone says in chat. You can use literally anything. There's like, depending on what layout you're using, grid, standard, one of the super advanced custom setups like what I use. Finally, Ling Speed starts up. There's always many free keys. And an easy way to test is just try something and then check if it unbounds something else. And do that on a new profile so you don't mess up your main one accidentally. Ooh. Slow Zergling's not the best versus a Hellion drop. Ah, good spready though from Serral. I'd like to see him rotate to the natural. Cure could have just ran into the natural there. I think that would have been amazing. If he just ran all the Hellions down here, I think he just missed out on big damage. But these two get 5, not bad. Oh man, he's just missed a big opportunity. No Ling Speed, dude. He could have dived in there. Serral really messed up by not starting Ling Speed. Only pays a 5 drone tax for it. I think he got out really lucky there, did Serral. I think if all the Zerglings were kind of here on a bit of a concave, if Cure just changed angle, I think he could have done something there. Ooh, I like the fake medevac. He's like, ooh, look at me. I'm about to Hellion drop you, but there's nothing inside. It's a battle cruiser. Second battle cruiser starts up as well. Overseer goes down. Where does he teleport to? Dead space. That's the way. No Spore Crawler finished yet. How many queens are out? Only 6. This is not a good position to be in. Oh, come on. You got to keep that moving. Oh, he's being so conservative with it. As if not rotate straight to the natural. Cure. Oh, Cure is being far too pedantic. I get it. He's on, you know, Serral's on match point. You don't want to throw your BC away. He absolutely could have gone around the back there, though. I think he could have found a lot more damage. He could have got more drones if he immediately gave a move command south instead of just letting the BC lose momentum as well. He let the BC stop and then it couldn't catch up with the drones, of course. But if it kept moving the whole time, the drones are barely faster than the battlecruiser. Not that much. I mean, well, I guess it's quite a bit faster on creep, I guess. Actually, they don't get a bonus on creep. Shh, pig. Don't make things up. But yeah, once you're on top of them, it still will take them a while to get out of range. Hellions over there. Oh, okay, now he's going to redrop. There are Lings in position, though. Second Spore in the main. Yeah, Q definitely missing some opportunities. His barracks are now on scouting mode. He's going to try to play mech here. We really have not got to learn much about mech this tournament against Zerg. And that doesn't do anything. Kills a few Zerglings, and that's about it. So what I mean is basically we've seen the mech players just die. We haven't really seen them get set up and established. And don't get me wrong, mech's always a little vulnerable, but we're seeing mech games when the Zerg's already ahead and busting through. Now, mech can come back. We've got tanks building. He's going to be ready this time for that roach bust from the last game. But Serral, clever as always, he says, well, you think I'm just going to do the same thing? Buddy, no. He's going to go the Mutaling Bane opening, and this is a fantastic opening. You get enough muters to help chase off the BCs. Go up to about 15 to 20, a bunch of Ling Bane. Sometimes you'll go Bane speed, sometimes you skip it, and you just do multi-prong Ling attacks on the natural, on the third. Muters fly around in circles. You look for big damage, and behind it you go to 90 workers and standard Ravager Ling Bane play. And often we see the Zerg straight up win with the muters, or at least kill a whole bunch of SCVs without really losing any units, because you're basically just saying, I'm going to get the most mobile harassment to take advantage of multiple angles as possible. Let's see what we can do with that. The muters are now out. The queen's coming back up into the main. I like this rotate. Threaten the main, come back down, get a few drones. He's obviously got to be ready to tactical jump, as there are 10 muters out that can come in on top of this. The muters are going across the map, though. And there's... Oh, no. Okay, I think he might need to tack jump all the BCs home just to deal with this, man. Yeah, these muters can kind of ignore that BC. That's a slow unit. And goodbye, siege tank number 1. And goodbye. Oh, good hot pickup there. Nice micro by Cure. Cyclones come out. Cyclone number 1, Cyclone number 2. A few muters fall. but I think that's worth it. Serral is picking off these very valuable tech units. Ooh, another muta goes down, but he's finding damage. These two BCs did get 6 drones, but oh no, Cure does not tack jump out in time. And a battlecruiser once again falling to Queens. This is not something you can afford. It's a very hard situation to multitask with these mutas being a pain. This battlecruiser slowly shepherding them out. Longest range Yamato of all time. Does take one out. This battlecruiser being a nuisance, but look at that. Serral's so on point. He shift cues his drones to move away, go back in. Move away, go back in. The Queens are now here. Battlecruiser, tack jump to safety, but the mutas aren't done. Uh-oh, Widowmine say, yes you are. Get out of my base. And you know what? Hats off to Cure for stabilizing there and hanging on. There's a few corruptors out to go with those mutas to deal with the battlecruisers, but remember, one fell. 72 workers into roaches. I actually am surprised Serral didn't go to 80, 90 drones here. I think Raynor 100% would have taken advantage of this moment to really drone further ahead. But gets an SCV, gets a second SCV. Well worth it for a few Zerglings. Mutas over here as well, doing a good job. And all right. Just continuing to do damage. Getting a refinery would be great, but look at that. The bounce damage picks off one SCV. He's just, there we go, second SCV, third SCV, fourth SCV. I mean, this is good damage. Cyclones lock on, mutas get out though. Hellion run by on the left-hand side. He's going to try to do something. It's just going to be another roach bust. But you know what? There's only, oh my god, there's only one tank out. I think Serral, after sniping the tanks with the mutas, was like, yeah, this is going to be a good move. And I think he's absolutely right. Roaches, Ravages, Lings coming in. He's going to go for the natural. The tank isn't even really covering that. Oh, the Widowmines butcher his own SCVs. Yes, they take out some of the Zerglings. But look at that. Biles plus the Corruptors. The secret to dealing with battlecruisers. To let the battlecruiser mass repair, it needs to sit still. It needs to be able to just hold still and let all the whole harem of 30 SCVs simultaneously drill it. But if you drop Biles underneath it, then it has to start moving again, which is going to break the repair as it moves a little bit. The SCVs kind of have to start and stop a little bit, and you can break through. Let's go back to the surround at the start with the drones. I wanted to look at that one more time. A beautiful cleansing 3-0 victory here for Serral. It's even earlier than this. Okay, about 2 minutes, I guess that happened. So let's go to Serral. Now, what I want you to notice is once he realized this was happening, he may have already set up a camera location on this base, because he's probably going to use those minerals to mineral walk through to try and surround, or maybe this base. So I'm kind of watching him to see where he mineral walks his drones to surround. So notice, check it out. Zerglings on 1, drones on 2. And his drones are stacking. They're stacking. He's getting them nice and all together. The Lings are coming in. And we're watching that. He's just moving past him for now. He's using all his units on one control group. He actually didn't drill at all. No drill whatsoever. I thought he used a drill there. He did not. He just clicked behind him. Really basic micro from Serral. I was like, I think we're gonna learn something, guys. And he's like, no, he grabbed his units, then he clicked them behind the Marines and then A-moved them. Nothing special. Well done. Watch that one more time. Very clean hold. I think in this situation, Cure should have put a bunker back here. If he did a backup bunker, that one he would have had a better chance. Yeah, he's just click, 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 click. Click, click, click. He's microing the other Ling onto the bunker. That's what you can see there. We'll watch that one more time. So that Ling, he's told to attack that SCV. He's clicking, he clicks way behind the Marines. He grabs the Ling, tells it to go on there, and notice that Ling is on control group 2. And control group 1 does a big A move. A move, A move, A move. And then he says, okay, just pull the drones back to safety. Now there's Queens up. We delayed the bunkers. We killed the SCVs. He can't get bunkers up now. We should be safe. He's got to engage through 2 Queens. This is a 2 racks. There's no way he can do anything here. A clean, decisive hold. GG, well played.